Let's have some fun, guys. Hello, MCM Birmingham. How are we? Come on, how are we? There you go. We are joined on stage by the Allo Allo cast. Arthur Bostrom, Guy Sinner, Kim Hartman, and Richard Gibson. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Guy Signer.
Signer.
But that's fine. Yeah. Just saying.
How are you all?
I think you were right the first time.
Yeah, was I right, yeah? How are you all?
Very well.
Good, thank you.
Very well, thank you.
Very
yeah.
good.
He asks the questions.
He asked the question.
I was all right till you got my name wrong.
Ah, you have to play ball, man. So, how's con been for you so far?
It's been
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Great.
extremely buzzy.
Great fun. Very busy.
Very, very busy. Any cosplayers around that you've really taken to, that you've really liked?
Well, there's a lot of people in steampunk costume, which I think is really interesting now because that's taken off so big now,
Yeah.
and there's some fantastic costumes in that.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you dressed up as?
I'm dressed up as the MCM Buzz host, Tony Piroff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love the costume.
Do you? Yeah, I love your costumes. I love it.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. Didn't you get the...
I've locked the sewed down.
We'd never have recognised you.
Yes, we didn't know who he was until he introduced himself.
Oh, was it?
I didn't know who I was myself, so that's fine.
Okay, all good. So, obviously, for people that don't know, it's Allo Allo is a comedy set in occupied France during World War II. Did you think Allo Allo would have such a cult following when you started filming?
No, but we knew it was very funny.
Yeah.
But we had no idea it would have the success that it did.
I joined in the second series, and they were already established, and I think by then I thought this is a major series already by the first series. I mean, I just thought it was brilliant, and I was watching it avidly, and then I got in it.
So he's a new member of the cast.
Yeah,
newbie,
yeah.
yeah?
They've
New
said
boy.
The new boy.
they've called me that since 1985.
A recent member of the cast.
A
Yeah,
very long-running joke.
I was very young then.
And he's so much younger than the rest of us.
Yes, I'm pleased to say that I am.
So, can we go and have lunch now?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So what do
Could
you
someone
think?
help me to the toilet, please?
That's it.
Well, we're not getting any younger.
No, that's it. So what do you think gave it the success that it's got, Allo Allo?
David Croft.
Yes, I quite agree with that.
David Croft.
It was
David Croft.
beautifully written. And actually, Jeremy Lloyd.
And
played
Jeremy
the
Lloyd,
parts as
yeah.
well.
And Jeremy Lloyd.
But
I mean-
they were really good scripts with imaginative storylines,
Yeah.
and they created the characters in the first place and cast them.
I think it's it's what makes for a successful comedy is where the characters are so well driven, and it's not just about funny lines. It's about the characters that everybody enjoys saying the lines that they're famous for, sort of, and that's what Allo Allo was like. I mean,
And he knows all this, even though he's a recent member of the
stop
cast.
it.
A recent
Stop it.
addition.
Never ends, I tell
He
you.
did the homework, you see.
But also, I think, because there were, 13 regular characters.
Yeah.
And so that there was somebody for everyone, really. Everyone had their favourites.
Even new people like me.
They're just beginning to get used to you now. But I think it's also about a village. It's about a place that people believe in. And I think Nouvion has a kind of... it's almost like kind of a soap opera thing, isn't it? Yeah. And I think people love the designs, the Frenchness of it, I think, is appealing to people.
Yeah.
And also the fact that it was a period piece, really.
Yeah, it
because
was,
I think
definitely.
that's why it's still quite popular now on repeats.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't dated as much as other things that were made at the same period have.
And we've become period pieces as time's gone on as well.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite.
Why is your microphone louder than mine?
It's just that I know what I'm doing with it.
We're not competitive, of course.
So it's best known for its slapstick comedy. Are you all fans of the genre of slapstick comedy?
I wouldn't call this slapstick.
Would you say
really.
slapstick?
This
Some
is
of it is-
slapstick. It's
no.
farce.
More like
yeah.
farce.
It's farce.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pure English farce.
With physical gags and lots of
Okay.
props. They love things blowing up.
Yeah.
They love old ladies blowing up. And, yeah,
Blowing up old ladies, which is always good value.
Yes.
If in doubt, blow up Renee's mother-in-law.
Or Monsieur Leclerc, he got blown up quite a lot
blown
as well.
It's set in World War II, obviously. Did you do any research into World War II or anything like that?
No,
before
Guy can
filming?
remember it.
I can.
Yeah.
I can. I was there. No, it
It didn't
there
need...
was no need to do
No
any
need to do
research.
anything
The
like that.
writers had experienced
yeah,
it,
okay.
so they wrote on their experiences.
But also the point of it actually was it was making fun of war films.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually making fun of the war itself. It was all the cliches of TV series and war movies. And in fact, Secret Army was the nearest thing it was based on. So we watched Secret Army. That's the sort of method actor in all of us.
Yeah.
We watched Secret Army and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, cool. So, we're
Daniel Day-Lewis wouldn't have gone to that much trouble.
So, were rehearsals just as funny as like when you went and actually filmed? Was there a lot more mucking about in rehearsals?
I would say even funnier because,
Yeah.
and one of the things that was always encouraged and we always used to do is we used to watch each other's scenes and laugh, which was very good for the writers because they're watching it and they're fine-tuning it before we actually get into the studio. And even when you got the scripts every season, you'd think, oh, I can't wait for him or her to say that line because you knew exactly how they would do it because we all knew each other's parts so well by then, and it was great fun to watch.
Yes,
And of course, they start to write around the people. Once they know how they'll do it, the characters get written around.
Yeah.
Monday morning when we did the read-through of the week's episode was something I always looked forward to tremendously.
Yeah.
For exactly that reason, you'd think, I can't wait to see Flick and Helga do that scene together. It is going to be a killer, know. And it was just so exciting. It was so exciting. It was all downhill after that, really.
Did you any of you find anything challenging about playing any of your characters at all?
Being hit over the head by Helga was a bit challenging, which seemed to happen a lot, and being chained up a lot. But apart from that, it was fine.
I think the challenging thing, but it was a good thing, was we were encouraged wherever possible to get each scene done in one take.
Yeah.
Because we had the studio audience. Because if the more takes that were taken, it doesn't seem as fresh, and and certainly my character, one or two others, had a kind of shock value. Often that's something I came out with. So there was a lot of pressure on you to get it in one, and I think that was a good pressure. I mean, I've seen other sitcoms being recorded, and each scene they can take 6, 7, 8 takes of it, and you just think, well, we were sort of bored with this now, So I think that's why it had so much energy.
Yeah.
It did actually make you pretty nervous, didn't it?
It
On the
really
day
did,
that you were actually recording it, because you had your live studio audience that you were performing for.
Yeah.
But then you also knew you were doing it for the cameras.
I seem to remember they tried to do it continuously. So when you went from one scene to another, if possible, they used to say, can you run across and go straight into the next scene?
Oh,
They did.
Rather
right,
than
yeah.
stopping, which was quite, just to give it that energy that I think it had.
So it was shot not only in story order but in real time.
Yeah.
As much as that was possible.
Yeah, wherever possible. It was. There were 5 cameras, so sometimes you'd have 3 cameras, say in the cafe scenes, Cafe Renee, and then if it was going to the back room, there'd be 2 cameras waiting in there, so you'd
Already
actually
there.
in real time go through that door at the back of the bar and straight into it,
And a camera would be there to
King's
pick you up
absolutely
already.
right. I mean, it used to be so nerve-wracking, wasn't it?
Well, and especially not falling over the cables
Yes.
as
I was
well
about to
as
say,
you
there
ran
was a-
from one set to another.
Yeah, and you say, am I in the right spot? And then the red light would come up on the camera and you're off, you know. But
And of course, if you were the one who messed up,
Oh.
it was just the worst thing.
yeah. So there was a lot of pressure, but I think it was good pressure.
Yeah, yes, it
we
was-
used to sort of get nervous all together.
Made you focus.
It did.
Would you bounce off each other though if someone had, say mucked
Yes.
up? Would you all bounce off? And
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
If something goes wrong, one of the secrets, is more so on stage, but like if you drop a prop or something and it crashing to the, let the audience know that they know.
Yeah.
Don't pretend it hasn't happened because it patently has happened. And if you let them know that they know, everybody's fine with it. You know. So the actor dropped his prop. It's not the end of the world.
No.
You know.
Don't let them see the whites of your eyes.
No.
Yeah.
So Gordon Kaye sadly passed away earlier this year. What are your fondest memories of him?
Well, he was such an energy at the middle of the show. You know, he was always in the driving seat. So, and he always managed to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was the engine of the show, if you like, beginning and end.
For me, those set piece scenes at the bar between Renee and Gruber, I'm very proud of some of those, and that's what I'll remember about him.
That's fine.
He had a very infectious laugh, like Popeye. When he really got tickled about something, he sort of gurgled.
I think I liked it best when he was dressed up as a resistance woman with all the mac and the berry. But he still had lipstick and a moustache.
Pervert.
Yes, I've still got the photograph.
Why do you think Renee had so much female attention in the show?
It's a bit of a mystery to me.
That was the comedy.
But that was the joke, because he was so hideous.
But also the character in Secret Army that he was based on was the man who owned the cafe.
Bernard Hepton.
Bernard Hepton. I think he was having a bit of extracurricular entertainment with the waitresses in that. I think that's where the idea came from.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, I love your relationship that Herr Flick and Helga had. Was it hard to keep a straight face during some of the scenes that you were doing?
It was absolutely terrible. In fact, we've got a still from being on set.
Okay.
And it sort of angled sort of over my shoulder, so there's just about a quarter of my face showing. And then Herr Flick's face facing me. And all you can see is my cheek. It's so high, and I'm obviously absolutely dying with laughter and really trying to hold it together. And there was, I think it was Series 6, where I spent my whole time sticking my fingernails into the palm of my hands because I wanted to laugh so much.
We used to look at each other's shoulders because we thought if we make eye contact, it's going to be terrible. But of course, it didn't matter so much if you laughed because your character could do that. I couldn't laugh at all. So the amount of teeth grinding that went on. The scene we just could not look at each other.
The scene when you were pumping up the tyre.
Oh yes.
Which was on film, not in the studio, but and Kim corpsed outrageously. I mean,
that was when he got the rubbish on his head.
But David left it in.
No, but that was when he got the rubbish on his head. That wasn't
that's right.
Rubbish.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
But David left it in because it was just so. It was so sweet that Helga broke up. I mean, it was just lovely. I, on the other hand, was a professional.
It was meant to be just a little pot, or so I was told, of earth on our heads.
But
so
I'd already been told.
Yes,
I'd already been told that it was going to be like a dropped shovel full of that.
And there was a massive dustbin full of soil.
So the propsman had already sort of let me know and tipped me the wink. And so you know what it's like when you're expecting something funny to happen. You start to laugh before it even happens. So by the time he got smashed on the head with half a ton of soil, I was beside myself.
It went like this. We saw there was an exploding coffin that had dynamite in it. And it went, and then a bit of earth fell on her head. And I went, that was very amusing. And then there was a pause. And a dustbin full went on my head. That was not so amusing. Because she found it that amusing.
So, Arthur, how much work did you put into the dialogue yourself?
None.
None whatsoever.
None.
I can now make it up as I go, but you know, I mean, it's kind of what everybody said. The writing is so brilliant for this series. I mean, and for all of their series, and it was written phonetically as I do it. So those were in the days of word processors and things like that. So that used to cause a problem for the word processor because it would throw out certain words and say that's not right. You know, modern spell check might have a problem with it, but. But you know, no, it was.
No, it was just all scripted.
We could occasionally
Yeah.
suggest something if you thought of it.
Okay.
And more often than not, it would be rejected. But if it was accepted, David Croft would say, "Yes, great idea. Wish we'd thought of it." But yeah, he would put it in because he recognised it was maybe a better idea than that. But that was very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
There was an
indeed.
occasion when an actor kept on insisting that his version of a line was better.
Yeah.
And he kept saying to David, "Can I say this?" And David went, "Nope, nope." And eventually he let him have a go. And afterwards the actor said, "Actually, David, you're right." He said, "I know I'm right, and that's why I've got 2 houses, a Rolls Royce, and a swimming pool to prove it."
Brilliant, brilliant. Do you all have a favourite episode? Yep. No?
There are some of them I haven't even seen yet.
Oh. No favourite episode whatsoever?
I had a favourite scene.
kind of- yeah,
you know, I mean, it was in series 5, I
Yeah.
think. By that time, I was given a police station set, so I quite enjoyed it. And there was one where
Biglery.
yes, exactly, yeah.
Go on, do it.
Well, Renee came in and was trying to hide from Herr Flick.
Yeah.
And
It was
wanted.
me. It was me and von Smallhausen.
No, Gordon came in as Renee and wanted to hide.
yeah.
And you know, I was in this scene.
So was I. You don't seem to remember I was in it too.
And he wanted to say, and I wouldn't let him hide unless he'd committed a cream. So I had a whole list of cream. Biglery with menaces.
Roop.
Yes. Hondbog snitching. And so it went on. So that was just... And
And
it's
you had
kind
a
of like
brilliant-
that thing...
a bimp on your
It was
hob.
sort of the closest I got to what Guy used to do over the counter sort of thing like that, you know, with the Gruber thing. So, because it was sort of 2 heads over a counter. So it was just a lovely written scene. So
I'm
that-
still quite hurt that you don't remember I was in the scene.
Yeah,
I'm not taking it personally. Or
we're all hurt, you know, damaged.
damaged, bruised.
Was there ever talk of a reunion or a one-off special at all in the pipeline in the last few years?
We did one. Well, some of us did in 2007 called The Return of Allo Allo.
Yeah.
She remembers.
Yeah. And so it was part redo and part documentary.
Yeah.
So that was the closest.
The-
But
And-
it would have been quite nice to have actually made another episode of
Yeah.
some sort.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was
Yeah.
going to ask. Like an episode.
Yeah,
Full
but
episode.
no, there hasn't been, and there won't be now.
No, sadly. If the series had continued, what direction do you think your characters all would have gone?
I think we would have won the war.
I think
Just a guess.
Flick and Helga would have been running the place.
Yeah.
I would still be a policeman.
Yeah.
But I don't think my character would have gone in any direction because he
No.
doesn't really understand what that would mean.
No.
I don't think. He was pretty stupid. I don't
Oh,
know.
well, thank you very much. We're going to take some questions from our audience. So if you could put your hand up. If you have a question for these guys, I will come straight out and I will give the mic to you. I will jump up.
Hi, it's great to see you.
Hello.
Hello. By accident, a couple of weeks ago, I found there's a whole episode of Blankety Blank with the complete Allo Allo cast.
Did we
on
win?
YouTube.
Except me.
Except
You probably hadn't joined the cast by then.
I don't think I was in it either.
What memories do you have of that?
Not very many.
Were you in it?
I
Did we
wasn't
win?
in it.
Les Dawson was very funny.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Terry Wogan.
It was Les Dawson.
That was Celebrity Squares.
It's Les Dawson, which is why I did it. Just for a chance to be on a stage with Les Dawson for a couple of hours. It was extraordinary. He was a genius. Genius.
Brilliant. Anyone got a question?
I mean, it was a dreadful show, and it was embarrassing to be a part of, but he was in it.
You were slightly embarrassing, but
Yes,
I think
I
the rest
was.
of the people were all right.
Hi guys, hi again.
Hello.
I was just wondering, there was actually one scene I really like of Herr Flick. I think it was I just like, how did you do that? It was, I think it was like a poison dart or something out of a cigarette, and you just like that one. You're just like so stiff. How did you do that?
It was like kind of punk dancing. It was a bit like pogoing, I think. I think punk was very fashionable at that time, so I've been practicing the pogo, I think.
The leather coat helped. It made it funnier
daft.
somehow.
That's right.
So, we've got one question here.
This is a silly one. Whatever happened to the fallen Madonna with the big boobies?
I like that.
Well, Helga cut out one of the boobies so nobody would be able to sell it, and she carried it around in her handbag.
Have you still got it?
No, it was Helga, not me.
But is it?
Oh, I see. You're not really Helga.
Isn't the actual picture that was used in that on display in the gallery at Longley?
Marquis of Bath.
Marquis of Bath is actually, and he's got, you know, it's Longley. It's full of all these amazing real paintings, but the only one he really liked was the fallen Madonna.
It's the only one he bought. That's why he inherited all the others.
So true.
And it's by far the most popular.
Well, guys, that's all the time we've got time for on the MCM Buzz stage. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Round of
you.
applause for the Allo Allo
Thank
cast,
you.
everyone.
Thanks for
Richard
coming.
Gibson,
Thank
Kim
you.
Hartman, Gary Siner, and Arthur Bostrom. Thank you very much. Remember to like, subscribe, press that notifications bell, share this. We've got many more interviews coming up as we go on through MCM Birmingham, and we'll catch you all soon, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.